Minglawa, welcome to MITV special talk show Perspectives. For this show, we have invited our special guest of honor, Xia Wu Yizhan. Minglawa Xia, thank you very much for joining our show. This week, we are going to discuss about how can governments control inflation. So, how bad inflation is?
Well, inflation in general is, price of goods and services going up, right? It is bad because, a lot of people in every single country all over the world, most of them are fixed income people, just like civil servants, just like employees. Their incomes are fixed. So if your consumption, the price of goods that you consume is increasing, you got squeezed because you have fixed disposable income, right, from the economic sense. So you don't have extra income to do any other things, to take care of your school fees or medical expenses or whatever. So it's bad for the people. So inflation in general is bad. Deflation, opposite of inflation, deflation. Deflation is also bad bad for the businesses, right? So inflation in general is bad.
So, what are the causes
of inflation?
Yes.
Yeah, there actually in inflation there are only three causes. The first one is a cost push because the general cost of production is going up. For example, if there is no electricity, factories have to use what? Diesel.
Yeah.
Diesel generators, it costs a lot. Diesel costs a lot more than the cost of electricity. So once the generator cost increase, once this cost of production increase, the price of goods will also go up. So that's one thing, a good example, cost push. Another cost push is, for example, delivery costs. Because a lot of things like vegetables, flowers, they come with deliveries, right? Even you are taking sand, your bricks to your construction site, they have to be delivered. So delivery vehicles, they use diesel. Again, the price of diesel increase, the price of fuel increase, the price of goods that you receive will also increase. That's a cost push inflation. And plus, for example, the goods that you import from foreign countries, right? If the just depreciate, the cost of these goods increase also. Depreciate against the dollar, then the cost of this thing will increase also. Then it was push up the cost of the goods and services. That's a cost push. The other one is demand pull. Demand pull means when everybody want to have their goods, right? For example, like a good example we can give is a car permit. So right now the cars cannot come in anymore. So the cars demand and supply is limited, but the people who still want a car is increasing. So the demand pull, so the prices go up. Yeah, so there's a demand pull inflation. The other one is the inflationary expectation. A good example would be the 20,000 just notes. At that time was commemorative print. It's not money printing. It's not, quantitative easing, let's say in an economic sense. Yeah, but then, people expectation. Wow, the government is printing money, all the fake news agencies come out. The government is losing control of the economy. The economy is going to collapse. So the expectation is, wow, everybody panic. Even in the villages, they know nuts about this currency print. But because of the fake news, they stop selling things. The rice mills, the rice owners, the rice farmers, they stop selling the rice. Yeah, the animal farmers, they stop selling the animals because they're scared about these inflationary things. Yeah, so that is three things that cause inflation.
So, after the causes, what can the government do?
The first,
These causes.
correct. The first thing the first way that the government can manage the inflation is the first thing is through the monetary policy. Monetary policy typically the use of the interest rates, right? So if the interest rates are high, the borrowing costs are high, so people do not borrow anymore. No borrowing, no money, no spend. Yeah, no spending, no demand. No demand means no inflation, right? If nobody want a thing, how to be inflation, right? Let's say you are selling chicken. Nobody eat chicken in this country. How the chicken price go up, right? Because the demand there's no demand pull, right? So that's one thing that manage the interest rate increase. Yeah, but nowadays it's quite difficult to do that also because there's so many NPL problems, non-performing loans. If the interest rates are going up further, it will create extra additional burdens on the borrowers. They will even be able, they will more unable, they'll be more unable to pay off the loans. So that creates more NPL. That's why I was quite surprised that a lot of banks are charging penalty fees for late payments of the loans. Between like 3 to 15%. That's a lot. Yeah, so they forever be unable to pay off the loan if you're charging that type of penalty fees. Yeah, so that is a monetary policy. The second one is a money supply. Money supply is printing money. If you print more money, there will be more inflation. So, but the government is doing it right. They don't print money. Don't confuse with the 20,000 notes. They always have to go back to the 20,000 just now, because they are just not doing quantitative easing. They are just a commemoration, celebration of that. Yeah, just a few print plus they are exchanging for the old money. And the other one is supply side economics. Supply side economics means on the factories and producers. The government is helping to lower the cost of production. Yeah. So for the same item, it costs less to produce. Yeah. So the producer gets more profits, then there's less inflation.
So how about supply side economics?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Trying to reduce the long-term average cost of production. Right. So if let's say for this national dress, right, assuming that the producers, right, it takes like let's say 20,000 just to produce that. So if you can lower it, the cost of production to let's say 18,000 just, the producer earn extra profit of 2,000. Right. So that the profit of 2,000 he can pass to the consumer 1,000. So he can lower the price of selling price, thereby not adding onto the inflation. Yeah, so trying to lower the cost of production. Yeah, through reduced taxes or reduce whatever things. Yeah, so reduce the cost of duties, or reduce the cost of employees, or reduce the cost of compliance, or all these things. Then reduce the cost of production, reduce the long-term average cost, lower inflation. That's the supply side economics. And the other one is a fiscal policy for the taxes and the government spending. Yeah, government spending also have to be lower, because if the government spend more, they will also create the inflationary pressure. Government spending have to be very cautious. And plus tax also may have to increase a bit. When you increase taxes, people have lesser disposable income. So people have lesser spending power. So lesser inflation. Yeah. And the last one is wage and price controls. Myself as an economist, I don't believe in wage and price control will work. Yeah, but the government still try to do through a committee. Yeah, try to see the wages of goods and services, especially the rice, right? The rice and the rice to the Rice Association. They try to sell it at a below market cost. Yeah, maybe edible oils, so sometimes they sell it at the below market rate. Yeah, in the short term it is possible, but in the long term it just creates a black market. Yeah, so that's all the tools the government have to somehow control inflation.
So these are supply side economics, fiscal policy, and also price and wage control measures.
Yes, correct. I've talked about everything already.
Yes. So other external factors at work.
Yeah, if you want to lower the inflation, right now inflation is fueled a lot by the fake news. Just look at an example of this 20,000 note sprint. Right? There's so many fake news that it suddenly increased the cost of everything. Right? So the digital media, fake news, right? People who spread rumors, they have to be tightened up. They have to be they have to be penalized in layman's sense, right? In the social media, writing the things that are not true. These things they have to be punished sufficiently, and not just in jail time. They got to be punished in terms of the dollar and cents, right? As Lee Kuan Yew say, oh, you need to hurt the pocket, then you change your behavior. If you don't hurt the pocket, nobody changes their behavior. Hurting the pocket means you fine them enough, so the next time they dare not do it again. Yeah, so it has to be like that. So there's external pressure, the terrorism, all these Facebook anti-government keyboard warriors, they have to be stopped. Only then, the government can pass a right message that, in a currency now, CBN specifically say that it's not printing money, it's just a commemorative print only. But nobody listen. The voice of CBN has been overshadowed by all the fake news and anti-government forces.
So these are also other factors to raise this kind of inflation, yeah?
To control.
Oh, yeah.
There's a law enforcement again.
Yeah. So other external factors you have mentioned. So what's the conclusion for controlling the
conclusion here is don't lose heart. There's inflation everywhere. Inflation is not being faced by Myanmar alone. Yeah, inflation in Singapore, inflation in Malaysia, inflation in America, inflation in UK, right? So we are not the only country that is facing inflation. Yeah. So, but by not spreading the rumors, and by not creating the inflationary expectation, each of us can take responsibility to control the inflation of our own country.
So these are your suggestions to control the inflation by everybody is responsible.
Yeah. Everybody should take that, somehow everybody, just as I said, do not spread rumors and, do not create inflationary expectation. That will help the government a lot as well.
Thank you very much, Sia. Thank you very much for our insightful discussions. You have been watching MITV special show Perspectives. Thanks for joining us.